Okay, so here we go. What is my name? My name is Michael. And it's Michael Murdica, by the way. I did not say my last name, so I'm adding that in now. I just turned 30 years old. Let's see, where am I from? I am from Duluth, Minnesota. And so I just want to say as well that I normally don't sound this nasally, but I came down with a head cold just a couple days ago, so forgive the nasally voice. So how long have you been with your job? For almost 7 years. I'd say about 6.7 years. It's just a couple more months until I will be at 7 years. How much schooling did I complete? I have high school diploma and a 2-year Associates of Applied Science degree in Information Technology and Network Administration. And so number 7, do I have any special licenses or certifications? I don't, other than my degree. How much money do I make per year? So I gross about $69,000 in a good year, and I net probably about $53,000. Do I rent or own a home? I do not, but I do. Okay, so number 10, how do you pay for housing? How much do you pay for housing? I pay probably about $200 to live at home. So I'm still living at home. Not much yet. My marital status is single. How many people in your household? There is 3 currently. My mom, sister, and me. Do I have any pets? I do. I have 2 cats. We have 2 cats, Archie and Betty, a smaller cat that is tan and white, and then a fluffier rescue cat named Betty, who is black and has long hair. Beautiful. So I probably spend, in our household, we probably spend a good, overall, I would say at least like $500 a month or more. And that's just on groceries, I would say, yeah. Maybe a little bit less, 400. My diet is, I would say, moderately healthy. It's definitely mixed. I wouldn't say that it's anything more than that. It's definitely quite variable. So yeah, moderately healthy. How often do I exercise? I would say about 6 days a week, because I'm a letter carrier. So all I do is walk, hold things, carry things, pull things. Yeah. And I do try to do strength training and like body weight exercises at home and all that. So number 17, what political party do I affiliate with? I am definitely Democratic. Am I proud to be an American? Number 18. I would say, in general, overall, absolutely. I'm blessed to be an American. And I'm proud to an extent. However, I am not very proud with some things. So I would say that proudness is not constant. Are you religious? I am not religious anymore, but I used to be. I have quite a bit of a background with that. I used to be religious, but I am more spiritual now. Some places I've traveled to, this year I went to Arkansas to see the eclipse, the total solar eclipse, which was really cool. And along the way, I got to go to Kansas City, Branson, Missouri, stopped through St. Louis. I've also gone to Florida many times with my friend or my family. Also, I've went to LA to visit my friend, and I've also been to Europe. So that was awesome. Number 21, one of my favorite things to do is to basically, like, after a long day of work, I really like to freshen up, do skincare, take a shower, have a nice meal, and just relax and watch a show or play a game, and just have some leisure downtime where I don't have to worry about doing anything. That's one of my favorite things to do, is just having my daily downtime. That's literally my favorite thing to do. What's something I wouldn't do even for $10,000? Hurt somebody intentionally. I couldn't do it. Like, if I knew that it was going to cause them legitimate pain, I would not do it. If you could change 3 things about yourself, what would they be? I would say, I guess I would make my nose like more. Physically, it doesn't say. Okay, let's see. It doesn't say what. Okay, I would make my nose not have this bump. I would make myself a better singer and a better dancer. 3 things. Who is someone that you idolize and why? I idolize my father because he truly was a selfless man and was himself all along the way. He never forced it. I idolize him because of who he was. Number 25, what's one of your biggest pet peeves? One of my biggest pet peeves is when people bother me or not bother me, but when people choose to be stingy or money over something that is genuinely right, or basically being petty about money, petty about savings, being overly frugal is my biggest pet peeve. Now, it depends on what the reason is for, but if it's perpetual, it bothers me. And if it's genuinely needed, there's a lot of other things I could say about that. But most of the time, if you're just, and I could broaden that and say, I guess when somebody is trying to force their goal upon you. What's your favorite genre of music? Definitely hip hop and R&B, but I would say R&B right now. R&B. How do you feel about gardening? I love to garden. I am a gardener. I love this question. I garden all the time. I have a gardening Instagram. I started many perennial gardens outside of the house, and I water and check on things every single day, and I know quite a bit. And I love peonies and roses and vines. I like ornamental flowers and succulents and cactuses and all of it. Avid gardener. How do I feel about artificial intelligence? I think that it's very cool and fascinating, but I think that there's kind of some issues with it, of course, and I think that it's dangerous right now because we're all having so much fun. I think we're in the honeymoon phase with AI, and I just think that we shouldn't just let capitalism and money drive AI. What are 3 talents you believe you have? I think I'm a good writer, I'm a good speaker, and I'm a good artist. Do you think life is fair? Absolutely not. Because at each point of the day, someone is having their worst day, and at some point somewhere else at the same time, someone's having their best day for no rhyme or reason. Somebody who has worked their whole life, graduated college, could be walking down the street and get shot. And yet somebody who has done nothing but evil could win the lottery. So you know what? And have a great life without any consequence. So no, of course not. 31. If money were no issue, what would you spend most of your time doing? I would say helping other people with their mind, helping other people with their health, just helping others be okay. Their existence is worthy and that they're beautiful. Helping them feel worth. Number 32, okay, what's the worst job I've ever had? Definitely a bagger, or a beggar, as we say it in Minnesota. But one time my primary doctor was like, are you saying you're a beggar? No, I'm a beggar. So I just started saying bag, I adjusted my accent. I'm like, so that was the worst job because I did a lot of work, didn't get paid very well, never made over, and I was not treated well. So that was my worst. That was my first job though. Of course it's going to be. How do I feel in my childhood? I love my childhood. It was awesome. It wasn't perfect, but I had way more than most kids. And I had a lot of fun, a lot of things, and I was very spoiled, but I was never like abused. I never was, I mean, I was bullied by and stuff, but I could have had a lot more things happen to me that did not. And my dad and mom and everything was wonderful to me. So lost track. How was my relationship with my parents? My dad passed in 2021, and so we were awesome. Like, he was my best friend, and part of like that was our we shared in like spirituality and religion that he would probably be sad that I've kind of fallen out of now, but he was the most amazing person I knew. My mom and I are not as good. I still live here, and part of like why I said that my biggest pet peeve is money and stinginess is because I pay to live here, and she still does not allow me to have my peace and have my space. Really, it's constant nagging. But so yeah, it's not as good, but I still love it. How was your relationship with your kids? Well, I don't have any kids, but I love kids. I really do like children. They're fun. What's number 36? What's a difficult lesson you've learned through experience? Definitely money. So that's something that I'm pretty resistant to like listening to about, but I learned that don't be nihilistic with money. Don't just think that money is literally going to come and solve itself, because it really won't. So I had gotten into like $25,000 in credit card debt, and I did not get any of it paid off for me. I had to pay everything on my own, and it was extremely difficult. And it delayed my whole life, basically. So I learned how to save and how to be more frugal myself, how to apply that to me through the failure of credit cards. Number 37, what do you believe happens when we die? I believe right now, it changes all the time, but I believe that there is either two things. There's either nothing, you don't like you've fallen asleep and you don't dream, because I sleep a lot without dreaming. So it's either like you don't dream, like you're sleeping, there's nothingness, like you're unaware of absolutely anything, or there is some kind of experience that we can grasp similar to this life, but I don't know at all what that would be. So whatever that is, yeah, it's either one of the two. Either there's nothing or there's something. So number 38, do I believe in ghosts? I do, yes. But I don't mess around with any of that. And I think that you attract and you allow in what you focus on, what you say, like what you basically show an interest and energy towards can come into your life somehow, sometimes, especially in that realm. I've never had anything happen to me supernaturally, really, except for my spiritual and religious experience. But I still believe in ghosts because there are vivid enough accounts from others that I just don't think they're lying. Number 39, do you believe the moon landing was a hoax? I don't. It happened. I just think that there's absolutely no reason for there to be that much time and effort and money spent to lie. I don't believe it. Is there an adult? Is being an adult what you thought it would be? Pretty much, yes, except it's harder. It is harder than I thought it would be, especially with the cost of everything. I thought working your butt off would be good enough, but it's still not. It's not. Are you satisfied with where you are in life? I am. Overall, yes. But duality is always present. So, of course, there are times when I'm not. No, I'm not always satisfied. But I mostly am. So, yes and no is my final answer. I wish I was further ahead, but I could be much further behind. Are you comfortable with the way you look? Yes, I am. I pride myself on my appearance. I work hard on my body and my skincare. And I'm grateful to be tall and to have good genes, to have good hair. I have my vitality still for being 30. It's not that old, but you know what I mean. 43, wait, no, 42. Wait, 43, yes. If you could walk in someone else's shoes for a day, who would it be? Probably for the people, it'd be really hard, but I would try my best to walk through the shoes of someone who's living in like Ukraine, Gaza, or Sudan, however you pronounce it. I would want to know what it's truly like, what we hear, what it's truly like to be in like that situation when you hear it on the BBC and on NPR, which I love to listen to. Seriously. I would really, for me to be able to change myself, I think I would have to be in their shoes. So yeah. 44, how often do you find yourself feeling out of place? Quite a bit more, I think, than I would say an average amount of time. I think everyone does. I definitely used to not feel out of place for quite a long time, but now that I've let myself become back down to earth and be more human and not constantly like spiritual and constantly religious, I realize I'm quite often out of place, and I think a lot of other people are too. But it's hard to say what the average is. So I would say at least a few times a day, or at least once a day, I feel out of place. That's a good answer. So maybe more, I don't know, maybe that's more than average. When was the last time you had a really good time? This weekend. It was my 30th birthday. Actually yesterday. So I got to go to Lutsen Mountains up the North Shore in Minnesota of Lake Superior and go up this gorgeous like summit up the gondola to this overlook that was breathtaking. Yeah, I had a great time yesterday. 46, what's a vice of yours that you feel embarrassed about? Pornography. I masturbate a lot. That's definitely embarrassing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's normally like times where I shouldn't, and I'm like, should be doing something else or whatever, you know, like focusing. But yeah, that's definitely embarrassing. 47, what is something you were self-conscious about? Oh, your vice. That's a vice, right? Pornography. Something that you were self-conscious about. Definitely like my visceral body fat. Like my body isn't as good as I like my stomach and I think I have like man boobs kind of. So my body is sometimes, if you want to be detailed, like, yeah, I can be self-conscious about that. What's something you spend too much money on? Food. I go to eat a lot and I love quick, good food, and I buy a lot. I buy my lunch every day. Like I buy breakfast and lunch every single day at work. So it's like $20 a day. Way too much. $49. Do you have money set aside for retirement? I do. I'm grateful to have a TSP, a thrift savings. I have like over $10,000 already in there. So that's good. How old do you think you'll be when you retire? Probably like 69. I don't know. I really want to be like 65, but it'll probably be like in my late 60s. Do you think the American dream is dead? Yes, absolutely. Because the corporation dream is alive. The greed is alive, not the dream. Corporations could choose to make a little bit less money, to make their CEOs slightly less rich, to make things a little bit better for the average person. If we really wanted the American dream to be alive, this question would not be on here. So 52, how much money do you think you would need to feel rich? I probably would need to make $150,000 a year to feel rich right now. $100,000 is not going to cut it. For how I want to live, probably at least $150K a year. So however that much is. But I would also need to have at least like half of that, half a year's salary in my bank account at all times, I guess. 53, what's the best job I've ever had? The letter carrier. Being a letter carrier is absolutely the best job I've ever had. And the reason for that is because it's really challenged me to become stronger and to push myself to my limits and to find out like more about myself. What's a skill you wish you had learned but never did? Definitely public speaking, to the point of like doing it competitively, or to some sort of theater, some sort of, being in front of a crowd, because I'd love to do that's me, but my anxiety is so bad it will still hold me back, and it has. So I did not learn how to overcome my stage fright and my anxiety in other ways, but never that way. 55. What did you want to be when you grew up? Or what do you want to be when you grow up? Wait, no, I said it right. I wanted to be some kind of high-end professional. I wanted to be like in New York City, working in a really good paying job, like a lawyer or a meteorologist that loved weather, or doing some kind of like maybe being a professional performer. That's what I wanted to be. So 56, what are the best things in life? I would say the best things in life are the little things that everyone seems to discount. Those things are the best, such as the way a flower grows so geometrically and like symmetrically amazing, like the details of like nature, the details in other people, friendships, conversations, like moments with your friends, like little moments of the sky and the moon, just little nuances of day-to-day life that seem mundane and the same, but they're not. So I'd say the best things in life are the things that we don't notice. How many close friends do I have? I have at least like 5 really close friends and one really best friend. But I would say I have a good 5 solid close friends and a lot more other like not as close. 58, do I miss being a child? Absolutely. I miss being a child because everything was novel, everything was new, everything was so exhilarating and fun to get through. Like it just literally was scary, but everything was so much more than what it seems as when you're an adult, because it's like, yeah, things can just be, you can be less satisfied and less, like, wow, like this was like really riveting, and I miss that feeling when you were a kid. I mean, it's nice when some things aren't scary anymore, but they aren't as like visceral as when you were a kid. 59, if you ruled the world, what are 3 things you would change? I would change the international financial system. To improve that, I would change the healthcare, and I would change all of the environmental, climate change, and pollution stuff. So money, the international way we handle the finances in the world, and improve the healthcare for all, and improve the environment and the way we produce things, for sure. And everything would be green and clean, and we would all go, things would finally change away from oil and gas, and but I don't exactly know the details of the others. Did I do this in the wrong order? Right. No. Okay. Number 60. If you could be any animal, what would you choose? That's a tough one. I would be probably a bald eagle. That's just what I think of. So I'd be a large raptor that could fly long distance and be safe and like be protected. I would probably go and just explore and fly. I'd be able to be a flying animal. So bald eagle. Strong, independent, and free. Do you think you're a good person? Number 61. I do think that I'm a good person, because I know that the core of me might not always be perfect, and it is not. None of us are. Sorry for the cat. None of us are, but I believe that I am a good person because I know that in my heart I'm here to help others, and that light is the core of who I am. Even when darkness is present, it doesn't mean that's the core of who I am. So if you can sense your nature and being able to control and define it, it's just not perfect. Nobody has full control of it. I believe I am. So what does success mean to me? Success means that I have the relationships, the people, and the fulfillment that I truly need and want in my life that is all around balanced and comprehensive. So, and my cup would be overflowing. So if I could have physically, emotionally, spiritually, obviously physical is part of the financial, and to have all those things to the point of where I could always feel like I'm ready to help somebody else. And I can like let myself go. That would be success. Why do people fail at things? People fail at things because they do not understand that your body achieves what your mind believes, and that our mind believes what our heart, or our mind achieves what our heart believes. So people don't believe in success. That's why people fail. And also because we're fallible. And there's multiple reasons why, but it's because people are imperfect and we have weakness. So that's why we fail. What makes life so challenging? Life is so challenging because of the vastness and the magnitude and the fragility of all of us. It's because we're all human nature. It's because of human nature, and we're all yet called to a higher nature that we're almost in conflict with always. So it's like life is challenging because of how compartmentalized it is, and because it's such a mystery. That's why. What do you think your purpose is? I believe that my purpose is to use who I am and my personality and the things that I have to say and the things that I can output to help and love others. As they say, it's better to have at least tried and failed than to never have loved at all. You know, I think that's my life purpose, is to understand that, is to realize that it's not about me and it's about others. That is what my purpose is to ultimately make, if I can somehow leave a positive mark on this world or on someone, that is enough. What's one regret I have? One regret I have is right now it's, I guess, grabbing the steering wheel back and not giving it to God. I wish I would have still trust God more. I guess my regret is that I got angry at God and I pulled a lot of things back into my hands that I had once given away. But it's not a complete regret. It's still a regret though. Who in your life do you think loves you the most? I would say my mom. She does. My mom loves me the most, even if she doesn't show it. In what ways do you feel privileged? Being able to make this video right now, being able to be in this room and have a home and have water and food, absolutely. I feel privileged with like the basic needs and peace, being able to sleep, being able to do what I want, having like a space that's safe, and having an abundance of money, obviously. Like, not an abundance, but compared to a lot of people, I do. I can buy things that I want, and I can go places that I want. I can drive, very much. If you could live this exact same life again, would you? Yes, I would. I would. Are you happy? Yes, I am. But it's not constant either. I'm not always happy. And I think happiness is difficult to maintain, but joy isn't, because joy is more deep. Happy it requires a lot of maintenance. What do you say to your younger self? Don't be so afraid of what others are thinking. Don't be so afraid of other people in general. Like, nobody is focusing on you. And I was so worried about what other people thought of me. I was so afraid of even social interactions for so long. How do you feel your own mortality? I feel it coming, but I don't respect it enough. I need to respect it more. I don't remember it enough. I want to remember it more. And it's frightening, but it's also like relieving, oddly enough. When you die, how do you want to be celebrated? The last ones are the best ones. I want to be celebrated in a way that brings other people joy. However they want me to be celebrated, that's how I want to be celebrated. I'm not going to be here, so it's like it doesn't matter to me. I would want other people to celebrate and be happy about my existence, and just be happy that I existed, and just be glad that it happened, and like to accept that this will happen to everybody, and that I want to be celebrated that I hopefully lived my life to the fullest, lived my best life, and wasn't afraid of what might go wrong and the fact that you die, and that we're all in that together. What's a food that everyone should try? Probably our Murdica spaghetti. So yeah, our homemade family spaghetti recipe. What's the silliest face you know how to make? It's like I don't even know. Like it's like the pursed lips face. That's sassy, but also like my very mobile face. So I don't even know. Like probably that one. They're kind of ugly and weird and like facial stretching. Okay, there you go. You asked. So anyway, all done.